welcome back to another video. Simple, nutritious, delicious keto food. What we're gonna make today is a meatloaf with a really nice and fresh, very robust sauce. And so let me get into these ingredients here. In the bowl that my ground beef is gonna go into, I have a tablespoon of tumeric, tablespoon of hot Hungarian paprika, tablespoon of cayenne pepper, tablespoon of garlic powder, a tablespoon of pink Himalayan salt, tablespoon of onion powder, tablespoon of black pepper, teaspoon of ginger, and I chopped up some fresh basil, and I put in some, I pulled the leaves off of a sprig of rosemary, okay, and I put that in there. I'm going to put the beef into here with 3 eggs, and I am going to mix that up really well. And then I'm going to take what's in this bowl, which is a little bit of sage, some fennel seed, some maca powder, and some chia seeds. I'm going to mix this up, and then I'm just going to coat the loaf with that. I'm going to coat the loaf with that and then press it into the loaf. The loaf is going to go into the 325-degree oven for about 20-25 minutes until it's almost done. And then I'm going to make my sauce that I'm going to put over it, which is going to be, you know, on keto you can't have too many tomatoes, so I just have 1. You can use more and moderate yourself if you like, but I'm going to put a small tomato into my blender with some cilantro, some fresh basil, some mushrooms that I chopped up. That's about, I don't know, 5 ounces of mushrooms I chopped up. I have some chopped green onion, some fresh basil, and I have about a third of a cup of Parmesan cheese with a little rosemary in there. I'm going to put that in the blender with about 2 tablespoons of mayo, a tablespoon of red wine, and a tablespoon of red wine vinegar. And then I'm going to fix the consistency with heavy cream. Either heavy, you can use almond milk, and it's not going to affect the flavor of your meatloaf. But I'm going to use heavy cream to just get the consistency that I want. Slowly pour it into the blender. I'll show you that. Okay, so let's get the meatloaf mixed up and coated, and then into this pan. Okay, something I want to tell you about what I just did here. I went ahead and I added some flaxseed because I figured I want some fiber in my meatloaf. Most people will put flour or breadcrumbs, you know, but on keto you can't use that. So you can use almond flour. I wouldn't do coconut flour, but you can try it. You can use almond flour or flaxseed meal. I chose flaxseed meal in here, and I put about 5 tablespoons of flaxseed meal to fluff this up. And I added a little bit of my vegetable stock because you'll notice that when you cook with flaxseed that it thickens up things and dries out things really fast. So I didn't want it to be dried out. Added maybe a 1/4 to a 1/3 of a cup of veggie stock. Incorporated everything really well. And so I'm going to get this onto a baking sheet, and what I'm going to do is first I'm going to coat it with this, and what the maca powder, the fennel, the sage, and the chia is going to do while this cooks is going to give it like a really nice bark on your meatloaf. You don't expect bark on your meatloaf, right? So that's what the purpose of this is. And then when I glaze it with the sauce that I'm going to make, it's going to make that bark even better. It's just going to be just the most amazing stuff ever, okay? So I'm going to go ahead, get this onto a baking sheet, and we will be right back. Okay, we are back. I have formed the meatloaf the way I wanted on my baking sheet, and I'm just going to take that mixture of rosemary, maca powder, chia, and fennel and go over it like this. Okay, you don't clump it into one spot, and if it spills onto the side, whatever, it's okay. Don't worry about it. As long as you get most of it on there, because we can go around like this and catch it, right? Get it all on there because we want it to bark. And if you have a smoker, oh man, you're really set up. You have a smoker, you are good to go. Okay, get that all on this meatloaf. Okay. Trust me, it's gonna end up being really, really wet. And if you have extra stuff around it, just put it around the side. Let the flavor get inside of this. And if you're really worried about it drying out, you know, do like me. Cook on a very low heat. Cook on a low heat. Don't cook things really fast, especially meat. And you will be okay. Alright, now this is going to go into a 325-degree oven until it's about 70% done. We're going to blend the ingredients for the sauce up that I have put into the blender there. And I have added about 3 tablespoons of avocado oil to it. And I'm going to blend it with heavy cream until I get the consistency that I like. Okay? Minutes, and I'm going to transfer this into my cast iron, and I'm going to coat it with the sauce that we made, and then we will put it back into the oven for about 15 minutes to let that sauce caramelize really nicely. And I'll have a little bit of gravy there on the bottom that I can eat with some cauliflower crumble or something like that. Alright, we'll be back when it's done. Hey. It's done. I poured the sauce over the top of it and I let it cook for like another 15-20 minutes. Look at this gravy. It is so thick. That gravy is so thick. I might, you know, when you're on keto, you don't really need, because there's so much fat and everything, you don't need a lot of like thickening agents and stuff when you can use flaxseed meal or whatever. So, and chia. You know, but that gravy is gonna be amazing on like some cauliflower crumble, like mashed cauliflower. Oh my gosh. So this is really hot. It's still really hot, but the only person that's gonna eat this is me, so I'm gonna taste it right now. Wow. But I don't know if you can see that. It is so juicy inside. You see that? How juicy this is? Let me grab my phone. Focus. Maybe not. Okay, well, it's very juicy inside, and I'm gonna give this a taste. I've already had my last meal, so I can't really have another meal now. This is why I'm gonna taste it. Make sure I get some of the gravy on there. Oh my goodness. Ah. Oh my God. Oh my God, I cannot eat another meal. I can't. That is, just try it. I'm gonna put the ingredients in the recipe in the description box. Do it yourself. See for yourself. That is so tender, juicy. The flavor is everywhere. It explodes like literally in my mouth with the flavor. I don't know what to say. Okay, I hope you enjoyed this. Subscribe, like, share my videos, and I hope you come back to see more. I got plenty to share.